everyone, Massimo Rosati here. Pleased to bring you some more information on another fantastic water source here in southern Ontario. Behind me you can see the Niagara River, the gorge that basically the river has carved out over eons. And we are on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls visiting a nature preserve called the Niagara Glen. It's located at 3050 Niagara Parkway, and in relation to the falls is about 8 kilometers north of the falls. And of course we're here because there's actually a natural spring. When you look at it, when you look at the map, when you come here for the first time, you look at the map of the trails down there, and there's actually number 7 on the map is actually, it's literally marked there, a natural spring. So it did take us a little while to actually find it because the map isn't exactly clear on where it is, but that's what this video is all about. So anyways, the thing is about this Niagara Glen is this is one of the most pristine spots you will find in southern Ontario for sheer scenic natural beauty. Nature here is completely untouched and has been for, I'm guessing, the beginning of time. It's just one of the most amazing spots to come to. And the thing is also it's very popular not only for its scenic beauty, but because of all the rock faces and the massive boulders that are down here. A lot of people enjoy this place for rock climbing and bouldering and stuff like that. So you'll see tons of people doing that. Now, just to tell you a little bit about this natural water source here. The spring here is very similar to the other 3 or 4 springs that we've marked out in the Niagara St. Catharines region. And so what I mean by that is basically we have we're talking about the Queenston Spring that we've already mapped out, the Pelham Spring just near St. Catharines there, and the St. Paul's Spring off St. Paul's Avenue. And these are all within about 20 minutes of this location. And the funny thing is they all have a similar value as far as pH. All these springs are in the 6.2 to 6.75 pH. So they're all acidic and they're all high TDS. So they would be all classified as mineral springs. So anything over 500 TDS, we're going to classify as a mineral spring because that's basically a good description of the nature of the water that we're drinking. And so, for example, Pelham, Queenston Road, St. Paul's, and this one here, they all range from a TDS on the low side of 561 and on the high side of 850. The one that we're going to today is just around the middle. It's 681. But it has some really interesting properties that distinguish it from the rest of the springs. A, the taste is phenomenally better than all those other springs put together. And B, the temperature is much noticeably colder than the other ones. The other ones are ranging from 9.5 to 10.5 degrees Celsius, which isn't really all that cold. But the spring we're visiting today is actually 7.7 degrees Celsius, which is fantastic. Now, keep in mind, the water is coming out in multiple sources, multiple places along the rock face. And the very first one that you come to is probably the highest volume of the spring itself. So I guess we're going to call this the Niagara Glen Mineral Springs because it is a higher TDS of 681. Okay. So you get an idea of the overhanging cliff, and there is the orangey brown soil deposit I was talking about, either clay or iron, not sure what it is actually. Okay, so here we are, and like I said, this is out of all the water that's actually running out of the surface, this is actually the most amount of volume. The water tastes fantastic. And basically, what I'll do now is I'll show you the other sources. But out of all the ones I measured, this is the coldest one, 7.7 degrees Celsius. You can see, get a good glimpse of the water here. Okay. I don't know if you can see, it's a little dark, but underneath here, there's another bit of water coming out there. Okay, so as far as the properties of this water, we are talking about a TDS of 681, fairly high, but you would never know it by tasting it. Most mineral spring water actually has a very earthy taste, a very non-pleasant taste, but this one tastes fantastic. Nicely acidic pH is 6.7 pH, as well as temperature of 7.7 degrees Celsius. And I did take one bacteria analysis sample here. It came back as 0 per 100 mil for E.Coli, and it came back as 2 on total coliform feeder. That's per 100 mil as well. So that's nothing you need to worry about. That's all good stuff. Don't let anything stop you from drinking this water. Also, I want to mention this is the first Myron glass bottle that I've ever purchased. I got this received this in the mail less than 24 hours ago, and that's absolutely fall along with it. Basically, what's happening here is this Myron glass is like a dark purple. It blocks all visible light, so that's not going to degrade our water, but it will allow certain types of light, like for instance infrared as well as ultraviolet, violet light to actually come in here and have a structuring alchemy effect on the water in actually, in essence, raising its vibration. And like I said, I've only had this for a day, and so far, I'm completely loving it. Anyways, Massimo Rosati, signing off from the Niagara Glen. I really, really hope you get a chance to come visit the spring for yourself. This is one of the jewels of Ontario, no doubt. Take it easy and have the best day ever. One thing I wanted to point out about this particular water source is that the location of the spring is literally at the very bottom of the gorge. So you're going to be descending from the top of the gorge, which we are at now. You're going to be descending a total of 200 feet, 60 meters down some serious steep terrain at times. I mean, it's winding, but there is some fairly steep areas where you want to be careful. Now, the thing is that combined with the terrain just makes it kind of impractical to be carrying large water bottles down into the gorge and then expect to hike them back out. I mean, some people will do it, and also the fact that when we get down to the natural source, the natural spring water source, you'll find that there's no pipe in this case. It's literally just water coming out of the natural crevices of the rock, and so it's literally impossible to be sticking a steel pipe in there, because you'd be sticking it into steel rock. But there's enough of a water source, enough of a flow to actually get a considerable amount of water with smaller containers and stuff like that. But anyways, I will let you be the judge of that. What I will do is I will show you the entire path that's involved to getting down to the source, and that way you can judge for yourself and see what's involved. I mean, worst case scenario, if you're not coming here to collect water, at least you can enjoy the water while you're coming here for some hiking or some bouldering and stuff like that. Anyways, I'll continue on when we actually get to the top of the trail. All right, we are at the start of the hike. To my right over here is the parking lot. To my left is the top of the steel stairs that we're going to be descending. And as far as the trail is concerned, as far as this map, we're located right here. And we're going to be making our way down about 80 steps down to the cliffside path, which is going to be the white trail mark indicators. And we're going to be winding down towards the Niagara River, winding down until we actually get to the intersection where the cliffside path, the white path, meets the blue path, which is River's Path. And basically, in relation to this map, the spring is located just off the banks of the river in this area. So without further ado, let me show you what's involved in getting down to the actual source.
face for